The government's plans to fund expansionary infrastructure development in the country could be a key contributor to the quick drop the shilling has suffered over the last few months. But the state says the developments are the key to future growth and development, and they say there is no plan to scale back. KTN's Adelaide Chungole tells us more.
Debate on the fate of the shilling and the efforts to rein in the runaway depreciation took a turn last week, with focus shifting from the central bank's interventions to the factors that are fueling the steep drop. Chief among these was the wide current account deficit brought about by stagnant exports and a capital-intensive import bill, thanks to the government's increased focus on infrastructural development. Experts say these developments contradict CBK's contractionary monetary stance by worsening the already heightened demand for dollars. This has put the National Treasury as the custodian of the fiscal policy in the spotlight.
Obviously, we will be watching also how the fiscal performance is evolving, with a view to ensure that if there are huge expansion, we'll make sure that we can constrain that in a manner that the current account deficit does not widen.
According to data from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the gap between Kenya's imports and exports stood at 101.5 billion shillings in the first quarter of the year, up from 63.7 billion recorded in the same quarter last year.
This is, to a certain extent, a welcome widening of the current account, in the sense that if you look at the reason why the current account deficit is widening, it has to do with imports.
It's unavoidable if we need to implement the standard gauge rail as quickly as possible.
However, London-based ratings agency Fitch is not buying Treasury's argument. The firm has downgraded Kenya's credit rating from stable to negative, owing to what they called worsening public spending habits, the widening current account deficit, and a rising debt to GDP ratio. In a statement, the firm says Kenya's public finances have been deteriorating steadily since 2008, reflecting weak revenue performance and persistently high recurrent expenditure. Similarly, foreign direct investments remains below its peers across Africa, and this has resulted in an unfavorable funding mix, including short-term capital and debt financing. But Treasury insists that the fundamentals of the economy are sound, with the debt level still remaining sustainable and a balance of payment position that is still positive.
We are in a sustainable debt situation. The current account is also sustainable. We've had discussions with the IMF on these matters, and so I wouldn't be worried about the widening of the current account deficit.
With the National Treasury defending its fiscal policy and saying it is sound, the focus now turns to the central bank governor, who will appear before the Senate committee to explain what monetary policies they will put in place to defend the beleaguered shilling. Adelaide Chungole, KTN Business.